What's up, guys? Welcome to Contractor Growth Network. Today I'm breaking down the why behind the CGN movement. Why am I putting all this time and energy and money into building this thing up? I'll walk you through exactly why and even show you how you can do it for your own business. Check it out. Hey everyone, this is Logan Shinholser with Contractor Growth Network. I want to walk you through the why behind this entire CGN movement and why I'm doing all of this stuff. Now, some businesses out there, if they are very aggressive with marketing, they spend about 10% of their top line revenue. Last year, we spent about 35% of our top line revenue on marketing. And you would think as a marketing company, well, it makes sense to spend more, but if you are on the higher end of things and you're at 10%, we spent 3.5 times that amount on stuff like this. It's a lot of time, meaning it's about, we have a full-time, like the camera guy behind the camera, about 85 to 90% of his actual day-to-day is spent on this. Then we have everybody else in the company also has to work on this movement. So it's not like this is something quick, we turn the cameras on, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on producing all this stuff, and it takes so many hours in the week to make all this stuff happen. With all that being said, you're probably thinking, why would you spend all this money? It's marketing, but like, is this the best use of your time? When I was in college, what I would do is I was too proud to ask for help. And I remember I would pull so many all-nighters all the time because I didn't want to ask anybody for help. I felt weak and I felt like, I need to figure this stuff out because it's a rite of passage. And then what I would do is I would pull all-nighter, go into class the next day and ask somebody how they did the problem, and they would just tell me, just like that, all you have to do is double the numbers. And it would work out. And I realized by the time I graduated, if I would have just asked for help or sought help out, I would have been so much farther along and would have pulled so many less all-nighters. As a company, we use outside resources. All this stuff that we talk about, we don't make up on the spot. We use tons of outside resources, and then we take all those outside resources, we figure out what we want to implement, and then from there, we actually put it in practice for ourselves and our contractor clients. And then if it works, or if it doesn't work, we'll then turn around and teach you how to do that. So what we're doing is taking all these high-level, very technical, very nerdy things, applying it to ourselves, because we don't want to preach something that we have no idea if it works or not, and then actually then turn around, and our goal is to teach you in layman's terms how it all works, because we know what it's like to seek out other people's ideas and other things that are working for larger companies in different industries. And we know how powerful and how much we've grown as a company because we've made it a point to seek out how others do things. And if you're watching this and you're willing to seek out help from us, to use us as the resource that we know will work, then we want you to grow. The same way that these other resources and these other big time marketers help us, we want to turn around and return the favor, because if you're willing to put in the time and effort, you deserve to be in business and you deserve to have the business that you want. It is not easy, it is not quick, and it is not cheap, but we know that if we continue on this movement, it's really going to help grow this breed of contractors that are building their companies the right way versus all those that just want a shortcut. Because generally those that want a shortcut, there's a timeline on when their business is going to run out or when they have that end date. And the whole goal in business is not to always win. Sometimes it's just to survive. And that's what we're trying to teach you here, is how to survive in business. So no matter what happens, no matter what the economy is doing, you are going to be good to go. So I own my own business. I know what it's like to have this stress of people on payroll, where it's up to you to figure out ways to make the money come in, because without the money coming in, you can't make payroll, and if you can't make payroll, people leave, and then you fail as a business owner. So the stress that I go through 24/7 pretty much, I feel that. And if you own your own business and you're watching this, you feel that too. Whether you do it right now or you have in the past, it's very real. I may be in marketing and advertising, you may be in contracting, but the emotions that go into running a business are the exact same thing. What this whole Contractor Growth Network movement should be doing for you is this should be your vehicle, your way to figure out what to do if you get in one of those sticky situations and you have to make payroll. If your cash flow goes down for whatever reason, even if you haven't been doing all the stuff that we're talking about, even if you only pull out 5% of everything, you at least should know how to run a promotion, how to shoot a video and drum up some work so when Friday comes or when Monday comes, whenever you make payroll, you can keep your guys busy. Because if you can't keep your guys busy and pay them, then they can't, in turn, buy food for their families. So now you're not just messing up you, you're messing up an entire crew's family. Think about that. And that is what we're trying to do here, is teach you the principles of marketing. We don't give you the silver bullets to any of this stuff, but if we can get you on board with understanding the mindset of how people buy, what makes them buy, things like that, when you get put in a pinch, because think about it, business is just peaks and valleys, and you're very rarely in the middle. You're either riding a high or you're trying to figure out how the hell this stuff works. But if you're in that valley, and you can think back to, I watched a video 2 years ago on Contractor Growth Network, this is what they said to do, let me try it, and that brings in work for you to be able to put food on your table and food on your guys' tables, then that makes all this stuff worth it, because you are learning how to fish. We're not just giving you the fish. So if you stick along with all this stuff and you really embrace all this marketing and growth tools that we're giving you, no matter what is given to you in the business world, you will know how to survive. Now, what does this do for us? Because I'm a firm believer, at the end of the day, the human race, everybody is selfish. Even if you go out and you do volunteer work, I believe that people do that to better themselves, to make themselves feel good. Yes, you're still giving back. Yes, you're still helping tons of people, but you do it from a naturally selfish place, because I just believe that that's just the human race in general. So with that being said, what do I get out of this? What do we as a company get out of putting in hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of hours every single year into this movement? Well, this is how you build a brand. This is the stuff that no matter what happens in 2020 or whatever people predict, these videos, these podcasts, these emails that we put out, this is how people remember who you are. Eventually, if you keep listening to this stuff and you apply some of this stuff, your business will continue to grow. The more you apply, the faster it'll grow. If you apply just a little bit, you'll incrementally grow. But either way, at some point, you will either watch this stuff and then leave and never come back, or you will watch this and turn into a customer. So from a straight up, transparent, no BS standpoint, this is still a marketing platform for us. This is still helping us grow the business, but if what we're doing is helping us grow our own business by teaching you the basics and getting you up, from step 1 to step 2, so that way you can hire somebody else, whether it's us or another company, take you from step 2 to step 5, then that is really what the end goal of all this is going to be for us from just a straight up business perspective. I truly believe that it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And the more eyeballs and the more that we can get this message out to the masses, the more likely it is that we'll bring on more clients. And if we bring on more clients, then we can end up hiring more video people. We can end up hiring another person to do what I'm doing. So then that way we can reach more people. So it's this whole ecosystem of let's teach people how to get from step 1 to step 2. They hire us to get from step 2 to step 5. And then because we're getting more money, we can hire more people to get more people from step 1 to step 2. So it's this whole give and take and everything. But at the end of the day, it really is helping you guys get from step 1 to step 2, because as a business owner, I know what it's like to have a great month, and I know what it's like to lose money for the month. And one is fantastic, and one you think about all day, all night, and it pretty much ruins anything you got going on in your personal life. So yes, at the end of the day, everybody in my mind is a bit selfish, but at the same time, whether it's coming from a selfish place or not, as long as this message and this stuff is getting to you and it's teaching you how to fish and not just giving you fish, that is the whole point of CGN and why we're doing what we're doing. Because I don't want people to feel like they're lost, because I know that I've been, and as soon as I found those helpful resources that really got me on the right path, that was when the business took off. So if you're willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort to understand this stuff, your business will take off. It's just only a matter of executing on what we're teaching you. Hope this stuff helps. Do me a favor, hit the like button if this is all making sense. Smash the like button, because the more that I see it, we're slowly getting more and more likes on these videos, which I absolutely love. And the more that I see, the more we want to do these. So selfishly, again, if you hit the like button, it strokes my ego. It really helped me out big time. Thank you very much.